If you are wrong about Jesus, you are wrong about everything. Christianity rises or falls on a person. And historic Christianity has always confessed this. Jesus Christ is one person with two complete natures, fully God and fully man. Not either or, both. This is called the Hypostatic Union. Not half God and half man. Not God pretending to be human. Not man promoted into divinity. Fully God, fully man simultaneously, without mixture, without confusion, without division. And now please don't miss this. In Christianity, God is one who eternally exists in three persons: Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Distinct persons with one divine nature, one will, and one glory. The Father is God, the Son is God, the Holy Spirit is God. We call this the Trinity. And the Son, the second person of the Trinity, stepped into time. So when 1 Timothy chapter 3 verse 16 says, without controversy, great is the mystery of godliness, God manifested in the flesh, it's not referring to the Father becoming human, but the Son. That's why Jesus could pray to the Father. When the Son came into the world, he did not stop being God. He did not empty himself of divinity. He's laid aside the privileges of divine glory, not his divine nature. So Jesus is fully God and fully man, possessing two complete natures. Again, that's the hypostatic union. Now, if you want to argue against the God of the Bible in terms of his triune nature, then that's a different subject. But you cannot say that Jesus is not God. You remember when Jesus was in the boat with the disciples and the storm arose and the disciples were crying for their lives. Jesus was sleeping. That's his humanity at work. He was tired, sleeping to catch some rest. He was not sleeping as God, because God neither sleeps nor slumbers. He slept as human. And then they woke him up, and Jesus woke up and commanded the sea to be still. The disciples marveled and was asking, what manner of man is this that even the storm and the sea obey him? Hello, the sea obey him because he is God, fully man, yet fully God. Hear me carefully. Why does this matter? Because if Jesus is not fully God, then he cannot save you. Only God can forgive sins. Only God can conquer death. And if Jesus is not fully man, then he cannot represent us. If he is not man, he cannot substitute for man. If he is not God, his sacrifice has no infinite value for all humanity. Remove his humanity, salvation collapses. Remove his divinity, salvation collapses. Our redemption depends on who he is. The cross only works because the one on the cross was both God and man. And there are many Christians, even preachers, who do not truly understand who Jesus is. So let me be clear. If your Jesus is only a prophet, only a moral example, only a created being, or half God, half man, or the Father who became human, you are standing on sand. But if your Jesus is the eternal Son of God who became flesh, lived sinlessly, died substitutionally, rose bodily, and reigns eternally, then you are standing on solid rock. He is the Son of God, not necessarily because he was born of God, but because he is the Son in the Godhead who is himself God. Now let me learn this in everyday life. Because Jesus is fully God, you can trust him completely. His promises are not motivational quotes. His words are not suggestions. When Jesus said, I am with you always, even to the end of the age, that is God talking to you and giving you an assurance of his ever-abiding presence. When Jesus said, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, let not your heart be troubled, that is God talking to you. When the diagnosis comes, when the job feels unstable, when the marriage is under pressure, when it all feels as if everything is turning upside down, remember you are not trusting a prophet. You are not trusting a moral teacher. You are trusting an uncreated creator who stepped into time and who makes all things work together for good for those who love him. And because Jesus is fully human, he understands you deeply. He was tired. He was hungry. He was betrayed. He was misunderstood. He wept. He prayed in anguish. So he does not save you from a distance. He sympathizes from experience. The book of Hebrews says he is touched by the feeling of our infirmity or our weaknesses. So when you pray, you are not trying to explain pain or life situations to someone who is unfamiliar with it. He knows what it feels like to be misunderstood. He knows what it feels like to be falsely accused. He knows what it feels like to be betrayed. He knows what it feels like to cry. Stop thinking that God is detached from your humanity. Your suffering is not foreign to him. And because he is fully God, trust him. Because he is fully man, come to him. Because he humbled himself, surrender to him. Because he forgives sins, release your guilt and shame and sense of condemnation to him. And because he is Lord, bow before him. And because he is judge, serve him faithfully. Until next time, remember, the greatest mystery is not out there. It is Christ in you, the hope of glory.